Imagine for a moment that you are carrying profound truths, truths so sacred that they are meant to remain hidden, protected in the silence of your heart. As one of God's chosen, you may have felt a quiet prompting, an inner voice urging you to withhold certain details from the world. But why is this? What is the power behind secrecy? The truth is, silence often holds a strength greater than words, a divine shield that guards not only your heart, but also your calling and destiny. By keeping certain things concealed, you preserve your spiritual protection, safeguard your path, and ensure that the light God has placed in you is not extinguished by external forces. Today, we'll uncover 5 divine secrets that must remain untold, secrets entrusted to God's chosen ones as a means of preserving their connection to His will and their ability to walk securely in faith. These secrets are not mere suggestions or worldly advice. They are spiritual principles that align with God's plan and ensure His favor continues to surround you. Have you ever wondered why certain blessings flow more freely when you keep your intentions close to your heart? Or why the most profound moments of spiritual growth often happen in the quiet places? Together, we'll explore how honoring these sacred truths can transform your walk with God. Before we begin, let's take a moment to acknowledge this incredible community. If you feel led, comment 999 below to let others know you're here, walking this divine journey with us. And to those who have supported this ministry through super thanks, your generosity is a true blessing. Words cannot express the depth of our gratitude for your faithfulness and encouragement. Thank you for standing with us as we share God's light. Now, let us step boldly into the wisdom that awaits. These 5 divine secrets are not just for your protection, they are keys to unlocking a life of peace, purpose, and unwavering faith. Are you ready to uncover the truths that God has placed before you and to walk in the fullness of His divine protection? Let's begin. God's chosen ones. There are 5 secrets you must keep to preserve your divine protection. Number 1. Your future plans and dreams. The first thing to keep secret is your future plans and dreams. Why? Because the enemy has limited access to the details of your future, and he often works by making educated guesses based on what he observes. The more he hears from your words, the more power he has to undermine God's unique plans for you. Proverbs 29:11 teaches, "A fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man holds them back." This verse encourages us to exercise wisdom in guarding our inner thoughts and divine revelations, especially when they involve God's intentions for our lives. Have you ever shared something deeply important to you only to feel regret later? That's because not everyone who hears is there to support your journey. Some may be influenced by the very forces seeking to obstruct it. Keeping silence about God's vision for your life is not just a matter of caution, it is an act of spiritual protection. Consider Mary, the mother of Jesus, who received an extraordinary promise that would transform the world. Although she knew of her divine role, she didn't rush to share it with others. Mary treasured this knowledge in her heart, nurturing it with prayer and patience until the appointed time. Just as a seed needs time, care, and the right environment to grow, so do God's promises in our lives. When shared prematurely, visions can face premature attacks, skepticism, and even the discouragement of those who might not understand or believe in them. Do you ever feel that sharing a dream too early can leave it vulnerable to being crushed or misunderstood? As visionaries, we must recognize that our dreams are like fragile seedlings, needing our protection and prayer in the early stages. When God gives you a revelation, resist the urge to announce it publicly for instant validation. Instead, bring it to the Lord in quiet prayer. This place of prayer becomes the soil where God nurtures your dreams, preparing them to withstand adversity and grow strong. Remember, Jesus often went into solitude to pray, drawing strength and guidance for his path. Likewise, trusting God with your plans in silence allows him to work behind the scenes in ways beyond your understanding. Are you willing to wait on God's timing and watch him bring your dreams to life when they are fully ready? The wisdom of Proverbs 29:11 isn't just about withholding emotions. It's about mastering the patience to know when to share and when to hold back. In your life, are there dreams and revelations you feel called to protect? While God may sometimes guide you to share certain aspects of your dreams with a trusted few for encouragement and spiritual alignment, there is great wisdom in holding back until the timing is fully right. Sharing unfinished dreams prematurely is like exposing a delicate plant to harsh conditions before it has developed strong roots. Just as seedlings need a sheltered environment to grow, so too do the dreams that God has planted within you. Have you ever shared too early and felt the sting of doubt or unexpected challenges from others? Premature exposure can weaken your dream's potential, opening doors for interference from forces that don't want to see God's plans come to pass. In Matthew 6:6, Jesus teaches about the power of the secret place, saying, "When you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." This secret place isn't just about prayer. It represents a spiritual environment where dreams can be safely nurtured under God's protection. Are you willing to trust that God will shape your vision fully before it's time to reveal it to the world? By keeping divine insights private, you allow them the time and space they need to grow strong. Avoiding the pull of youthful impatience shows spiritual maturity and signals a deep trust in God's timing over public approval. Revealing every step also gives the enemy a blueprint to sabotage God's intentions for your future. Managing your revelations with wisdom and maturity creates a protective environment, allowing your destiny to develop fully and flourish. Silence, in this sense, is not merely an absence of words, but a strategic shield. When you use silence to guard what God has entrusted to you, it shows both trust and discernment. Have you experienced the power of silence as a shield, knowing that God will unveil your dreams only when they are ready? By practicing this restraint, you allow God to work behind the scenes, preparing your path in ways you might not even see. Are you prepared to wield the power of silence, placing your dreams in God's hands until his perfect timing reveals them to the world? As you journey through life, remember that not all visions are intended for immediate sharing. Some of the revelations God gives us are like seeds that need time to grow, developing quietly under the surface until they are strong enough to withstand external forces. Think of Joseph in Genesis 37, who shared his dreams too soon and faced severe opposition and jealousy from his own brothers. This account teaches us the importance of discernment in timing and sharing our God-given visions. Are there dreams in your life that require protection and nurturing so they can mature in a safe and sacred space? These hidden dreams are given to you for a season of preparation and growth. By allowing them to develop in private, you are giving them the foundation they need to thrive when the time is right. As Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven." Knowing the appropriate season for sharing and the season for nurturing is essential in safeguarding the purpose God has placed within you. How often do we feel pressured to announce our plans, only to realize that sharing them too early exposed them to unnecessary challenges? Embracing the right timing preserves the sanctity of your calling and helps ensure its success when God opens the door. In addition to guarding your visions, it is crucial to build a circle of trusted allies who will protect and uplift your dreams. Proverbs 27:17 reminds us, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." A close-knit community of like-minded believers who not only respect but also cherish your divine purpose can act as powerful sources of encouragement and prayer support. These individuals act as spiritual pillars, standing firm with you when doubts arise or challenges come. Do you have confidants who will pray with you, intercede on your behalf, and keep your dreams confidential until the appointed time? When you share your vision with those who genuinely care for your calling, they help preserve its integrity, protecting it from premature exposure and empowering it to grow until it is ready. On this path, also develop a deep, consistent relationship with God, rich in prayer and meditation. The Bible speaks of the importance of seeking divine counsel. Psalm 32:8 says, "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you." In moments of stillness and communion with God, He often provides the clarity, guidance, and assurance that you need to move forward with confidence. Prayer becomes the nurturing soil where God strengthens the dream He has planted within you, guiding you at each step. Are you taking time daily to enter this sacred space of dialogue with God? In these quiet moments, your vision is not only clarified but also fortified by the presence and wisdom of God, equipping you with courage for the journey ahead. By holding your dreams closely, sharing them wisely, and leaning on God's guidance, you create a safe environment for them to flourish. It is a powerful act of faith to trust in God's timing over human approval, to remain silent when necessary, and to wait for His appointed time. Number 2, your family matters. A second crucial secret that the chosen one must guard carefully is family matters. These personal concerns, whether they involve marital disagreements, health issues, financial struggles, or relational challenges with children, should remain within the inner circle. The Bible emphasizes this discretion in Proverbs 11-13. "A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret." Protecting your family's privacy is not just about withholding information. It's about creating a safe and supportive environment for your loved ones. Are you able to discern what should stay within the walls of your home? Or do you feel the urge to share these details with others too soon? Many people struggle with keeping family concerns private, feeling compelled to share every detail with friends, neighbors, or even on social media. This habit of publicizing family matters can quickly undermine the stability and unity of a household. Think about how the family of Job was affected when his life's trials became public knowledge. Although Job's situation was unique in that it revealed his unwavering faith, his story reminds us that suffering and challenges are often better processed in the safety of private, trusted circles rather than under the scrutiny of others. What strength can you find in handling family conflicts quietly, with a focus on resolving issues rather than seeking external validation? When conflicts or disagreements arise with a spouse, it can be tempting to share these frustrations, either out of a need for support or the urge to vent. Yet, making such issues public can lead to misunderstandings, judgments, and further complications. The Bible highlights the wisdom of resolving matters privately in Matthew 18:15, where it advises addressing conflicts directly with the person involved before involving others. If you address family matters quietly and with dignity, you allow room for healing and understanding, preventing unnecessary strain on your relationships. Keeping family matters private honors the sacredness of those relationships and preserves the foundation of trust within your home. By not exposing every hardship or disagreement to the world, you protect your family's integrity and reinforce the bond that holds you together. Sometimes the greatest strength lies in silence, in choosing to shield your family from the judgments and opinions of others. Are you ready to create a safe space for your loved ones? keeping your inner circle protected and giving them the confidence to share openly within the trust of family. Many people you turn to with family issues are already dealing with struggles of their own, though they may keep them hidden. This raises a crucial question. Why would you pass on your family's challenges to others? It might feel like a relief in the moment, but consider the consequences. While we often hear, "A problem shared is a problem halved," this isn't always the case. Sharing our burdens can indeed bring comfort, but only if we choose wisely whom to confide in. The wrong confidant can turn a shared problem into an even larger one, leading to misunderstandings or even gossip that strains relationships further. The Bible offers us wisdom in this area. Proverbs 17:9 reminds us, "Whoever would foster love covers over an offense." This speaks to the importance of discretion and love when handling sensitive matters. Instead of spreading the hurt, true love seeks to protect and heal. Likewise, 1 Peter 4:8 advises, "Above all, love one another deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins." These verses challenge us to think about how our words impact others and whether sharing will bring unity or division. Ask yourself, will sharing this help solve the problem, or will it create more tension? Is this person truly a trusted confidant, or am I simply seeking validation? By choosing not to share certain struggles, you may actually be protecting your family's peace and your own. In a world where open communication is encouraged, wisdom reminds us to consider our intentions and the impact of our words. After all, are we sharing to find genuine support, or are we simply venting without a purpose? Reflect on this. Could this situation be an opportunity for prayer rather than a topic of discussion? Sometimes God is inviting us to lean on Him and grow in patience, trusting that He can heal and transform even the most challenging family dynamics. When we cover others with love, we protect the bonds that God has entrusted to us, allowing space for His work to unfold. Be cautious about oversharing personal struggles on social media or indulging in casual gossip with co-workers and neighbors. When we share openly with those who lack understanding or empathy, we may unknowingly give legal access to those who would exploit our vulnerabilities, eager to criticize or spread rumors. Sharing too freely can leave our families exposed, making it easy for those with fault-seeking minds to focus on the negatives. Instead, as the spiritual leader or priest of your household, it's your role to handle these matters with wisdom, maintaining the dignity and protection of your loved ones by guarding your family's privacy. Seek guidance only from those who are spiritually mature and uphold confidentiality, turning to counselors who genuinely want the best for you and your family's growth. Consider Mary, the mother of Jesus. What if, upon learning that Joseph was planning to leave her after discovering her pregnancy, she had gone to her cousin Elizabeth and openly expressed her fears, frustrations, or even anger? Would it have brought peace, or would it have introduced doubt and tension into a situation requiring delicate wisdom? Instead, the matter was handled with grace, faith, and privacy. Family issues often require the same approach. Wisdom that protects, not gossip that exposes. Why then are we sometimes tempted to share too freely? Is it a need for validation, or are we looking for support in places that can't provide it? The Bible reminds us that the tongue has the power of life and death. Proverbs 18:21, meaning our words can either build up or tear down. By oversharing, we risk creating resentment or even bitterness toward our loved ones, tempting others to judge or misunderstand them. Instead, choose grace and protection. Any dysfunction in our families can be viewed as an opportunity to extend deeper grace and forgiveness, as Jesus teaches us. God desires to heal and restore, but in a way that honors the privacy and sacredness of relationships. He works within a context of love and discretion, not in the turmoil of exposed drama. When you feel the urge to vent or discuss sensitive issues, pause and consider, could this be an opportunity for prayer and introspection rather than public discussion? Embrace your role as a guardian, shielding your family from unnecessary scrutiny and trusting that God will bring healing in His way and time, through the power of quiet, compassionate understanding. In our fast-paced, oversharing culture, there is immense value in learning to hold back rather than impulsively casting stones of personal details that once shared can never be fully retracted. The urge to vent or seek sympathy can be strong, but handling family matters with intentional care does more than protect your loved one's privacy. It safeguards the unity, dignity, and spiritual strength of your household. This aligns closely with biblical wisdom, creating an environment that fosters healing and reconciliation. When we choose discretion, our families remain sanctuaries of trust, shielded from the prying eyes and judgments of the world. Keeping a low profile about personal family matters can act as a powerful shield, preserving both the emotional well-being and reputation of each member. Just as Proverbs 11:13 reminds us, a gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. Our restraint protects both adults and children from the potential harm of gossip and public scrutiny. When family challenges are resolved privately, without external pressures or interference, the family unit has space to grow stronger and more resilient. Think about the example of Joseph, who initially planned to quietly separate from Mary when he discovered her pregnancy. Rather than exposing her situation, he chose a path of mercy and discretion. Matthew 1:19. This teaches us the power of handling sensitive matters with grace and respect. By keeping our family's struggles within the family, we model a sanctuary of safety and acceptance, where mistakes are met with understanding, not condemnation. Why then are we often tempted to share these matters publicly? Could it be a desire for sympathy, or are we overlooking the value of internal peace over external validation? The wisdom of discretion goes beyond immediate preservation. It sets a positive example for others. Our choices teach the next generation the importance of privacy, the strength found in handling conflicts within the family, and the transformative power of unconditional love and forgiveness. Consider this. What legacy of family strength and unity are we building through our actions? When we choose wisely, managing sensitive matters with patience and wisdom, we show others that love truly covers a multitude of faults. We become examples of God's call to reconcile, to nurture, and to protect, rather than expose. In the end, discretion doesn't just safeguard your family's reputation, it honors the love that God calls us to embody and share with others. Number 3, your first victories and breakthroughs. A third area of discipline for God's chosen ones is learning the art of keeping early breakthroughs and victories private. When God blesses us with favor, promotions, financial increases, or new opportunities, it's natural to feel excited, even tempted to share these milestones immediately. However, there is wisdom in holding back, in resisting the urge to broadcast every success prematurely. Proverbs 21:5 offers insight here. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. This reminds us that while blessings are wonderful, they are often still in a fragile stage. Waiting for God's timing before going public allows these blessings to fully take root. Consider King Saul's anointing. When the prophet Samuel anointed him, he instructed Saul in 1 Samuel 10, "When these signs are fulfilled, do whatever your hand finds to do, for God is with you." Notice, he didn't tell Saul to announce this divine appointment to everyone. This was a sacred moment, one meant to be cherished privately. Much like Saul, we are often called to keep our breakthroughs between ourselves and God, nurturing them in their early stages. Similarly, look at David, who famously defeated Goliath as a young and inexperienced warrior. Had he rushed to boast about his victory, he might have attracted unnecessary attention from enemies looking to undermine him before he was established. David chose to keep quiet, allowing God to guide him step by step into his role as a leader. His patience and restraint exemplify a powerful principle. Waiting on God's timing protects our purpose and shields us from the potential pitfalls of premature pride. Why then are we so often tempted to share? Are we seeking validation from others, or are we trusting that God alone can elevate us at the right moment? Keeping our successes under wraps teaches us patience, humility, and reliance on God's wisdom. Instead of rushing to announce each victory, we can ask ourselves, is this God's timing, or am I simply eager for recognition? In a world where social media encourages instant sharing, consider the beauty of a quiet, humble approach. Holding back allows God to prepare us fully, solidifying our path and ensuring that we are truly ready for each new stage of blessing. This discipline doesn't only preserve our own peace, it also sets a profound example of humility and trust in God's timing. Could this moment be an invitation to deepen your faith rather than seek external praise? When we follow David's and Saul's examples of discretion, we embody a strength that is not of this world, a strength rooted in faith and unwavering confidence in God's perfect timing. Imagine that God grants you tremendous success in business early on. While this achievement can be thrilling, there's wisdom in choosing to avoid the spotlight until your growth has become solid and sustainable. Look at the story of Joseph. Although he had extraordinary gifts from a young age, he did not boast or seek attention before he was mature and fully prepared to lead. His journey reminds us that announcing early progress can invite spiritual attacks, envy, and competition. By allowing your achievements to quietly establish a solid foundation, you create a vine that is strong enough to hold the weight of its fruit. As it says in Ecclesiastes 3:7, there is a time to keep silence and a time to speak. Consider the approach of many young entrepreneurs today, who, upon seeing initial success, quickly proclaim their progress. This eagerness is understandable, but announcing early victories for a business or project that has yet to stabilize can expose it to negative forces before it has the strength to endure. It's far wiser to let those early signs of success mature out of public view, rooting deeply and quietly until the timing is right. Are we seeking instant validation, or are we trusting that God's timing will bring recognition when we are truly ready? Joseph's story also teaches us the importance of maturity in handling success. He waited until he was seasoned and established before fully stepping into his role, guided by the understanding that premature exposure could undermine his calling. Could your growth benefit from time in the shadows, allowing God to prepare you fully? When we focus on the quiet work of growth, we become rooted in mysterious maturity, as it confuses those who would seek to harm or envy us. Our strength grows without inviting attacks that could disrupt our progress. Remember, there will be plenty of time for celebrations when the foundations are secure and the purpose is fully established. Impatience can lead to unnecessary challenges, but patience, waiting for God's timing, serves as a shield over the blessings He is building in your life. Could this be an invitation to cultivate patience, trusting that the right time will bring the most fruitful harvest? Waiting isn't easy in a world driven by quick wins and instant publicity, but it's a mark of wisdom. By allowing God to mature your achievements out of the spotlight, you protect them, allowing your efforts to flourish without being threatened by envy or competition. Like Joseph, you'll be fully prepared when God reveals your success to the world, grounded and equipped to handle every blessing He's entrusted to you. Practicing patience as you experience success doesn't just secure your achievements, it shapes your character and deepens your spiritual foundation. By allowing time to strengthen your foundation, you'll find yourself better equipped to handle the pressures and responsibilities that come with increased visibility. This waiting period serves as a test of humility, challenging you to recognize that your accomplishments are ultimately a result of God's grace, not merely personal talent or effort. As James 4:10 reminds us, "Humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will lift you up." Holding back on public announcements is not about hiding your light. Rather, it's about safeguarding it from the risk of being diminished by premature exposure. Think of this period as allowing God to temper your growth, letting your achievements solidify through time and consistent performance. This practice doesn't just protect your progress, it ensures that when you do share your victories, they are grounded, mature, and powerful in their impact. Are you willing to let God refine your success in silence, trusting that the right moment for visibility will come? The Bible often emphasizes the value of being faithful with little before being entrusted with much. Luke 16:10. In the same way, when we allow our early successes to remain unspoken, we demonstrate faithfulness and gratitude, proving our readiness for even greater blessings. This approach not only nurtures our growth, but also transforms us into people who credit God for every success, rather than seeking validation from others. Could this season of quiet preparation be God's way of building a resilient foundation for even greater blessings ahead? Ultimately, when the time is right to share your achievements, your story will be one of resilience and maturity. Rather than offering a fleeting success story, you'll have a testimony that speaks of longevity, humility, and strength rooted in divine timing. The rewards of this approach extend beyond personal gain. They reflect the enduring character of a heart surrendered to God's will. Are you ready to let your story unfold in God's time, knowing that He alone holds the perfect plan for your life? Number 4, your financial situation. One reckless behavior that some people adopt is the urge to flaunt their earnings and assets, particularly in today's age of social media, where validation often comes from public displays of success. This tendency toward pride and ostentation may feel gratifying in the moment, but it often leads to unforeseen downfalls. Proverbs 13:11 warns us with great wisdom, "Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it." This verse reminds us that genuine lasting wealth is cultivated through steady and diligent efforts, not through showy displays that may invite envy or even misfortune. In a culture that encourages quick wins and instant gratification, we're often tempted to show our progress to others, but wise individuals understand that true wealth grows in private, grounded in quiet discipline rather than ostentation. Are we seeking validation from others or anchoring our self-worth in the steady work of building something meaningful? When we focus on accumulating little by little, we're cultivating a foundation that will stand the test of time. The Bible offers us cautionary tales about prideful displays. Think of the story of King Nebuchadnezzar, who took pride in his power and wealth, only to face a humbling downfall. Daniel 4. This story illustrates that boasting can lead to a vulnerable position where we lose sight of who ultimately provides our blessings. Could your own journey be strengthened by humility and discretion, ensuring that you don't lose sight of what truly matters? Moreover, private accumulation not only protects us from unnecessary attention, but also fosters gratitude and responsibility. Wealth built with patience and integrity is a testament to God's blessing and our stewardship, free from the risks associated with prideful exposure. Is there greater strength in keeping our progress private, allowing our accomplishments to be the fruit of consistent effort rather than fleeting applause. Ultimately, choosing humility over pride and discretion over ostentation helps us keep wealth in its proper place, as a tool for good, a gift to be handled responsibly, and a blessing from God. When we approach our resources with this mindset, we create lasting security and inspire others to value integrity over image. Are you willing to build patiently, letting your character speak louder than your assets? True wealth, after all, is built in the quiet strength of diligence, honoring God's provision and embracing the wisdom of patient growth. Resist the urge to seek validation through displays of luxury purchases, vacations, or other symbols of status that, while visually impressive, can subtly pull your trust away from God. The temptation to measure self-worth by fleeting material wealth is common, but these transient riches can distract from a deeper pursuit, spiritual growth, and the practice of discreet stewardship, which fosters enduring prosperity. In a world that glorifies wealth, remember that true contentment is found not in impressing others, but in quietly cultivating a life that honors God. Instead of envying those who flaunt their wealth, embrace the quiet dignity of modest living, knowing that it reflects a heart grounded in faith rather than worldly validation. As Proverbs 15:16 wisely advises, "Better a little with the fear of the Lord than great wealth with turmoil." There is wisdom in focusing on spiritual wealth over material gains, as reckless spending often undermines the very stability we seek to build. The Bible encourages us to prioritize our relationship with God over outward appearances. Jesus himself cautioned against storing up treasures on earth, where they are vulnerable to decay and theft, Matthew 6:19-20. By choosing to keep our financial matters, income statements, investments, savings balances, and inheritances private even from relatives when possible, we protect not only our financial stability, but also our peace of mind. Are you finding your security in God's provision or in the approval of others? Consider this. By boasting about financial success, we risk attracting unwanted attention, potentially inviting lawsuits, envy, manipulation, or even theft. A life of quiet trust in God's provision, coupled with a deep gratitude for what we have, brings a peace that no amount of wealth can buy. Could your desire to share your success be a test of where you place your ultimate trust? Seek first God's kingdom, allowing your heart to be aligned with His purposes, and let prosperity come at its appointed time. When we prioritize pleasing God over impressing others, we free ourselves from the pressures of social comparison. Could this season of humility be God's way of teaching you the true meaning of abundance? Real prosperity isn't measured by luxury, but by the strength of your faith, the depth of your gratitude, and the integrity of your stewardship. True wealth lies in a life surrendered to God's timing and His perfect provision. In addition to keeping your financial situation private, it's wise to practice discretion about your career advancements as well. When God opens doors for promotions, new positions, or unique opportunities, resist the urge to broadcast every detail on social media or even in casual conversations. Oversharing about your professional successes can make you a target for envy, sabotage, unrealistic expectations, and even spiritual forces that aim to disrupt the divine path God is aligning for you. Instead of seeking validation by posting achievements, let your work speak for itself. Embrace quiet humility, grounded in a consistent and dedicated work ethic. Proverbs 27:2 advises us with great wisdom, "Let another praise you, and not your own mouth." This scripture reminds us of the power in allowing our actions to draw admiration naturally, rather than seeking it out ourselves. When we stay humble, our achievements are shielded from pride and remain pleasing to God. There's a delicate balance in whom we choose to share our milestones with. discussing your overall progress with trusted mentors, close family members, or those who are spiritually mature can be valuable, as they may offer support and guidance. However, avoid the temptation to flaunt every milestone or title, as this can create space for pride and jealousy. Are you sharing to glorify God or to seek recognition from others? The Bible illustrates that divine promotion often comes effortlessly when we trust God's timing and His way of raising us up. Consider the story of Joseph, who was eventually elevated to a position of power in Egypt, but only after he patiently endured trials and maintained his integrity. Had he prematurely broadcasted his dreams and achievements, his journey might have taken a very different turn. Could this season of silence be God's way of shaping you for an even greater purpose? When we let God do the lifting, our focus can remain on obedience and service, freeing us from the need to seek attention or approval. Divine promotion carries a sense of peace that worldly praise cannot provide, reinforcing that our purpose is tied to God's calling, not human applause. Could choosing humility in this moment be God's way of preparing you for a role beyond what you could imagine? In the end, trusting God to elevate us brings not only protection, but also an authentic peace, allowing our lives to be a testament to His grace rather than our own ambition. Keeping a low profile about your financial and professional advancements doesn't imply a lack of pride in your achievements. In reality, it reflects a profound respect and understanding of the sacredness of your personal journey. By choosing discretion, you cultivate an environment where actions speak louder than words. Your success then becomes evident not through temporary applause, but through lasting impact and sustainability. This mindset embraces the wisdom found in Matthew 6:1, where Jesus cautions us, "Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven." Our journey is precious, and by honoring it quietly, we allow God's work in our lives to be our testimony. This approach also protects your accomplishments from the fleeting nature of public opinion, allowing them to be valued for their true substance. Are you looking for validation from others, or are you rooted in the quiet confidence that God sees and blesses your faithfulness? When we allow our work to reveal our growth and integrity over time, we find ourselves freed from the cycle of seeking external approval, discovering a sense of purpose that doesn't rely on others' recognition. Consider Jesus' own life. Though his works were miraculous, he often instructed people not to speak of them. His humility served as a powerful reminder that greatness is often quiet, confident in its purpose without needing constant affirmation. Could this be an invitation to let your own journey unfold with the same quiet confidence, trusting that God's recognition is more valuable than any public acclaim? Choosing to keep a low profile fosters a depth of character that not only sustains but strengthens your progress. By letting your success speak for itself, you gain respect not for how loudly you announce your achievements, but for the integrity with which you live them. How can your journey become a testament to God's faithfulness, quietly inspiring others to seek a deeper purpose? True success is rooted in the silent strength of faith, nurtured in private and revealed in God's perfect timing. Number 5, your spiritual encounters. For God's chosen ones, it is essential to guard certain sacred spiritual experiences, dreams, visions, angelic visitations, prophecies, and other divine revelations entrusted to you. These encounters are deeply personal, forming an intimate part of your journey with God. While there may be moments when God calls you to share these experiences to uplift and encourage others, many of these sacred moments are meant solely for you to deepen your connection with Him and to guide you on your unique path. Hastily sharing these profound experiences can diminish their sanctity, turning what is holy into casual conversation. Throughout the Bible, we see examples of individuals who kept divine encounters private, understanding the need to let these sacred experiences mature within them before sharing, if sharing at all. Mary, the mother of Jesus, provides a beautiful example. When the angel Gabriel appeared to her, she received an overwhelming message, yet she did not immediately publicize it. Instead, as Luke 2:19 tells us, Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. She protected the experience, reflecting on it in silence and reverence. Could this be a call for you to cherish and protect what God has revealed to you, allowing it to shape you in private before seeking any public validation? Divine encounters are often deeply mysterious and transformative. They provide direction, encouragement, and insight, but they also require spiritual discernment. Are you willing to let God guide you on when, how, and with whom to share these sacred moments? By keeping certain experiences private, you honor their holy purpose, allowing God's voice to remain clear and undistorted by external opinions or misunderstandings. Remember, not every revelation is meant for others. Some are given to nurture your personal growth, deepen your faith, and strengthen your spiritual foundation. When we approach these encounters with reverence and discernment, we safeguard their power and purity, creating space for them to have their full impact on our lives. In a world quick to speak and slow to listen, choosing silence can be a profound act of faith. By respecting the sacredness of divine encounters, you allow them to fulfill their purpose fully, transforming you quietly, shaping your journey with God, and ultimately equipping you for the path ahead. In honoring these intimate moments, you demonstrate a heart attuned to God's guidance, patiently waiting for His timing to reveal what He has entrusted to you. Mary's angelic visitation announcing her immaculate conception was a profound, sacred revelation, yet she kept it concealed until the divinely appointed time for its disclosure. This restraint illustrates a powerful truth. Some encounters with God are meant to be treasured in silence, nurtured privately until the right moment arrives. Similarly, in the book of Revelation, John was instructed not to record the thunderings he heard in Revelation 10, signaling that certain divine mysteries are meant to remain veiled, known only to the one who receives them. Likewise, the Apostle Paul, in 2 Corinthians 12, described hearing inexpressible things, things that no one is permitted to tell. He understood that some revelations are sacred beyond words and must be safeguarded rather than shared. These examples remind us that divine revelations are like seeds, or even like babies developing in the womb. They need time to mature and strengthen in a protected space before being brought into the world. Exposing them prematurely in the wrong environments may jeopardize their intended purpose. Are there sacred experiences in your life that, like Mary, you are called to nurture privately until God reveals the time to share? This principle encourages us to discern the purpose of each revelation. Some encounters may be intended to build our faith, deepen our relationship with God, or prepare us for a future mission. Could God be asking you to carry these experiences quietly, allowing them to grow in strength and purpose before sharing them with others? When we honor this process, we align with God's timing, protecting the delicate unfolding of His plan for our lives. In a world that often values instant disclosure, there is power in silence and restraint. Just as Mary, John, and Paul recognized the sanctity of their encounters, we too can choose to shield our experiences, understanding that God will reveal their purpose when the time is right. Could this be an invitation for you to cultivate patience, trusting that God's timing will bring each revelation to fruition? By guarding these divine moments, we honor their sanctity, creating space for God to shape us in private. The decision to keep these revelations hidden may not always be easy, but it serves a profound purpose, allowing the experiences to root deeply in our spirit and guide us according to God's perfect will. Embracing this process reminds us that God's revelations are entrusted to us for a reason, and that safeguarding them is part of our spiritual growth and preparation for what He has planned. Learning to incubate what God reveals to us is an essential discipline for those walking a spiritual path. When God imparts a revelation, vision, or message, it is often intended to be nurtured privately until He directs us to share it openly. Avoid the temptation to trivialize profound spiritual encounters by turning them into small talk to satisfy curiosity, or worse, by reducing them to dramatic illustrations for personal acclaim. These encounters are sacred gifts meant to deepen our connection with God and to shape our character. By preserving these moments privately, we honor the intimacy and reverence they deserve. There's a deep wisdom in knowing when to speak and when to maintain silence, as Ecclesiastes 3:7 reminds us, a time to be silent and a time to speak. Not every encounter or message is meant to be shared immediately, or perhaps at all, with others. Could holding back certain experiences be God's way of inviting you to rely on Him more fully, seeking strength and insight from His presence, rather than human validation? Consider the delicate beauty of inner silence. In this quiet space, revelations can mature, undisturbed by outside opinions or misunderstandings. Some experiences are given to prepare us for future callings, to build resilience, or to deepen our understanding. Are there areas in your spiritual life where God is calling you to maintain this inner sanctuary of silence, allowing His message to resonate fully within you before sharing it with the world? By mastering this sacred art of keeping the peace within, we not only protect our relationship with God, but also create a solid foundation upon which He can build. When we refrain from hastily sharing these revelations, we find ourselves resting in God's wisdom, confident in His timing for everything He has shown us. May the Lord grant us discernment, that we might know when to speak boldly and when to keep a wise inner silence. In the quiet before Him, we find a place of safety, power, and beauty. This discipline, this honoring of God's revelations, reflects a heart committed to His purposes. Embracing this balance of silence and speech reveals the depth of our faith, letting His guidance be the true source of our strength and clarity. So, dear friends, remember that if you are among the chosen and have a divine mission during your time here on earth, some things are meant to remain hidden. The 5 truths shared in this video are sacred. Keeping them private safeguards your path and protects the wisdom entrusted to you. By maintaining a low profile, you honor the journey and deepen your connection to this calling. If you're still with me, know that you're part of a circle of loyal wisdom seekers, committed to discovering deeper truths. Your support allows me to continue creating videos and sharing insights that uplift and enlighten. If this message resonated with you, please subscribe, like the video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for being a valued part of this community. May your life overflow with abundance, and may blessings flow to you in abundance today and always.